Listen, what's your position on public pianos?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in principle, they're lovely, but in practice, they're shit.
This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing.
I went to see a dear old friend, I should say, and I took the train into Euston, and knowing that she would know where it was, I said, well, I'll meet you at the piano, and fully expecting her to be playing at the piano, which she was.
Right.
And she is a very, very good pianist, and she loves a bit of Chopin.
Right.
And I have to say, it was not only was it a pleasure to hear her, but it was also a pleasure to approach her, because she was concentrating on that, just waiting for me, and knowing that was a kind of place of a place to meet, and also to meet through the music as well. But of course, that's not what they're designed for.
What do you think they're designed for?
I think they're designed for what you have just described. That is, that the idea is amazing, that they're lovely, sort of celebratory, public, something or other, public, etc. And then in practice there, I had the other experience, of course, in Rome Airport not so long ago, where I seemed to be, not only was I sitting, and they have little work areas in Rome Airport, it's great. And, where you can plug in and get your stuff done. And I happen to be sitting across from someone who, and it actually says, the signs say that you really should be, they're designed for work, they're not, And the guy across from me was an older guy, so older than me, that's what I mean. And he spent the entire time on his phone making that hacking sound that us old men make. It was extraordinary, and but it also happened to be not a good bit of planning. Rome Airport, not so far away was the piano, where I think it was the piano that must have had a sign on which was said, "Play me even if you're shit." And so I got caught between a hacker and a hacker, a throat hacker and a piano hacker. It was it was difficult.
Yeah, there used to be one at Entrecampush station in Lisbon, which is a train station. And I remember coming into the station once and going, oh my gosh, this is lovely. Going down and seeing my parents and getting off the train and going, that's the same fucking tune. It was just one person who knew one tune. And I was like, okay. And evidently the the appeal pulled somewhat for those who had to listen to it all the time.
And so did they take a hammer? They took an axe to the piano.
Well, I don't know what happened except to say that the piano is no more.
Must have been quite a good meeting to be in the room at, as it were, because I want to be in the room where it happens. Happened, or is it happens?
Thank you. I think it's the room where it happened. Room where it happened.
I'm talking Hamilton.
Okay,
that's exactly the reference. You know me. I love to pull in a musical reference.
I was just sidebar. I was watching an excellent Japanese version of
Hamilton.
Of Hamilton today. It's really good. It's quite lovely to watch the raps in Japanese. I'm like, wow.
Wow. Hang on. Where were you watching that?
On
a work day, I'll just add, on a work day.
We'll put a pin in whether or not I'm allowed to take some time off during a work day. Anyway, so you were saying you'd like to be in the room where it happened.
I would love to. Thank you. I'd gone. I was just couldn't get my head around Japanese version of Hamilton. I would love to have been. I'd love to be in a room where there are people talking about, firstly, to have or have not a piano, then the location of the piano, and then also the decision to remove it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? No, look, we're just having so many complaints. We can't tolerate. The cost of the tuner is so high. It's being vandalized. We've just got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing that happened, so Rome Airport has another section with a different piano and a different workroom, a sort of bigger part of the airport. And I have seen, this is the sort of other end of the spectrum, what appears to be concert pianists doing those kinds of crazy things that piano solos might do. A little bit like basically like the piano equivalent of a drum solo, frankly, you know, that kind of basically, look how awesome I am.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that, you know, people around with their, you know, filming, and it just made me feel icky. More icky than tolerating the guy hacking at the piano and the guy hacking at his throat.
Yeah, I think I'm with you in the sense that virtuosity is something. Oh God, this
can't be too good. If you're too good,
it's complicated, isn't it?
This middle ground.
There's the middle ground of being more than workmanlike in your skill set, but not so good that you know that people should be paying money for this.
Yes, and because
then it's like,
where's the line between showing off and just being part of something, of a sort of an expression of something? Oh, is there a line?
Do you think that phones and the ubiquity of filming and the pointlessness of filming has made us less able to just appreciate something because it no longer feels like a thing that you've stumbled across and gone, oh my God, this is amazing. Instead, it feels like a thing that's being done for
clicks, that ship sailed. That ship sailed years ago. You're really talking to the wrong person. I'm so profoundly cynical about not only the filming of it, but also the performance for film. I mean, I really think, are they really genuinely, how often are genuinely what's the word, like spur of the moment, or what's the word we used to describe impromptu, or that kind of, even I think that's probably made maybe with the arrival, thank goodness, of the sponsor, of the alignment between Meta and Ray-Bans.
Oh God, so happy that that's happened.
Yeah, I think the world is a better place. Not only that, is that
much better.
Who's that man who goes around? Used to be an entertainer in this country who goes around filming these kinds of conversations in shops.
A man who used to be an entertainer who films conversations in shops. That might have skipped me by.
I'm not going to be able to remember his name.
Give me a little bit more to work with. He used to be what kind of an entertainer was he?
No, I don't know, but he also I think a gay man someone died in his pool years ago.
Okay, Michael Barrymore.
Thank you. I love that it took the death of someone in a pool to trick your memory.
Yeah. But it was. Sorry, that seems dark to people who are listening who don't know the story of Michael Barrymore. It's more about, I was trying to work out, entertainer who used to be on TV.
So he's not he's just a TV host, was he?
He was a. I don't know if there are international equivalents of this, but there used to be Saturday evening television shows in the UK that were kind of variety shows, and they were very much personality driven.
Like the Generation Game?
The Generation Game was probably a little more of a game show than it was
a variety show.
Yeah, variety show. I'm thinking more like the Noel Edmonds House Party or those kinds of things. And
I think Strictly Come Dancing, of course, is not that, but it feels like it's derived from that kind of Saturday night.
From that light entertainment place, but Anton Deck's Saturday Night Takeaway would be a contemporary-ish version. I'm saying this as if I've ever watched it. I haven't. But when I was a kid, there was like the Noel Edmonds House Party, and then there was Michael Barrymore, and I don't know what he did because I couldn't bear him even as a kid.
Right.
There was something really mean and cruel about the way he engaged with people.
I think he's continuing on that vein with his Meta glasses, going in and just recording people and then putting them on TikTok with his millions of followers.
Wow, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, and that's just, he's just a end user. Forget about the company that makes that shit.
Oh, double piece of shit. Meta piece of shit.
Yeah, mega meta.
Mega meta pieces of shite.
Yeah. Wow, what a world. What a world. It is that strange thing, isn't it, where you go, let's just make this thing. Doesn't matter. And maybe we'll apologise at some point, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, because by that point we will have sold enough units, we will have, and we won't worry about, I don't know, upskirting or all of the things that, actually, I guess upskirting with meta glasses would be quite tricky because you'd have to have a head attached to it. Hadn't thought that through.
Well, no, but the identification, basically you can identify people. I mean, that's sort of on the edge of that kind of AI. Apparently they can't do that yet, but oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember talking to undergraduates about the fact that at that particular point in time, the UK was the most surveilled nation in the world. Obviously, we're now the third behind China and... I can't remember the second.
Russia?
Anyway, I don't think it is Russia, but it might... I don't know. It might, I genuinely can't remember, but we're third now in terms of numbers of security or CCTVs per capita. Yeah. But it kind of feels like, well, who gives a shit? I mean, we're filming each other constantly, all the time. We're filming ourselves. We're filming each other. It's that sense of like, oh, who cares if they've got them on a pole?
I mean, it really does. It's one of those things. I just bump into them every now and again where, boy, does it make me feel quite old.
Yeah. We are peak midlifing right now. We sound like a right pair of old crusty farts.
Yeah, and a couple of old guys talking on a podcast. I mean, who could ask for anything more?
A couple of old what?
A couple of old guys.
A couple of old professors.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. Did you know that I'm a professor? No, I didn't. I wanted to because my nephew Finn asked me something very interesting this week, and he said. Because he kind of knows how I feel about work, and I mean, I guess any listener to this podcast would know anyway. And he said,
thankfully, none of the people interviewing listen.
Actually, that would, thankfully. And he said something very interesting, which was, "Does it make you feel any differently about your job now?"
Oh, Finn. I mean, snaps.
I know.
That's an excellent question, and I really want to know the answer.
And I mean, it was such a great question because it's only been a week, and I think it's safe to say that I feel energized by it, like quite excited by it. And I think that, and I don't like to admit this because... Well, no, I think it's okay to admit it, but it's just I just like to imagine that I'm a little bit more sophisticated than this.
Why? Go on. And what's the admission?
Well, I think it's simply about recognition.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. But
why do you not want to admit that?
I don't know, but I maybe it's something else. But I think that's the drive that feels like the underpinning idea. That is, and this is the part where I think this is where it gets a bit icky for me because recognition implies a view of myself or perspective of myself which may or may not be accurate.
So it's interesting that the word icky's come up now twice. Once in relationship to you and once in relationship to people showing off at the piano. So there is a sense here, is there, of feeling like you're effectively showing off, or that you are being rewarded for having shown off, or that it's about visibility, it's about clicks, it's about likes, it's about little love hearts that kind of creep up the side of the screen.
Well, I've certainly spent the last few weeks, of course, and not least of all when in the interview and preparing for the interview, but also in the cover letter and all that stuff, which is effectively going, look how awesome I am. That's the game, isn't it? That's the world, and providing some evidence of that awesomeness.
Yeah.
I don't think I used the word awesome and awesomeness in the cover letter, but now I'm regretting
missed opportunity.
Yeah. So there's a certain amount of it which it's the performative aspect of that, and then I guess if we equate it to the guys or the people playing the piano, there's the highly performative part, and then also the recognition by an audience of some kind of that ability, capacity, skill. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching the connection too far there.
I mean, I think being a professor is one of those things where you kind of, it's a funny, complicated set of skills that you're being rewarded for, and it's really not what you know about dance.
I mean,
even
that's
if you're
clear.
probably going to be the professor of dance.
Yeah, well, we should talk about that. We should come up with a series of possibilities for what I can be a professor of, and then get our massive audience to vote on it.
I mean, Professor of Awesome seems high up on the list of potentials.
Professor of Awesomeness.
Awesomeness, yeah. Well, that's two there. You can go Professor of Awesome, Professor
and
of
Awesomeness.
Which is it? Which do you want? Or both?
Could we put the word culture in there? Professor of Awesome Culture.
How about Professor of Awesome, open brackets, familiar with culture, close brackets?
Familiar
with.
Passing acquaintance.
Culture adjacent.
10 years ago. Culture adjacent 10 years ago.
But yeah, so there's that sense that whatever you get called is not really what you are being rewarded for.
So
you are being rewarded for. Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I know full well, and I say this with no rancor at all, that I was able to get my professorship because I secured funding for something, and the funding I secured was very little to do with my
expertise.
I mean, there was a tangential connection in the story that I told about it for sure to the funders.
I mean, you can drop the word affect and it just fits anywhere, doesn't it?
It's quite handy to be a scholar of affect studies. Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
What are we talking about here? Affect.
How do you feel about it? Excellent. Look, he's doing his research.
Told you so.
I strongly disagree. Oh, that's a feeling you're having there. Good. Let me write it down. Yeah, I mean...
Doesn't matter what the question is.
I think that ickiness is an interesting thing to struggle with, but I want to go back to the sense of energized, because icky is, I mean, that's that cultural cringe, isn't it? That's that tall poppy. That's that thing about not wanting to ... But actually, the sense of being energized, that's kind of lovely.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think there was probably a certain amount of it which was recovering from the quantity of adrenaline in my body. Woo, come on down, boy. And but I think it was more than that. I think I really did go, I'm really excited. Like, I'm really excited. Not because I don't think much is going to change initially. I mean, I'm going to be going to many more meetings than I'm used to or would want to. But I'm, so yes, I don't know what else to say. I feel energized by it, excited by it. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be all sorts of things. But yeah. It feels great. I mean, it feels much better than the other side.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, because the thing where and I'm sure lots of people experience this is nothing to do with necessarily being in an academic context, but that idea of doing something for other people and feeling that you are working at your capacity or perhaps a little touch beyond your capacity, and not being thanked or not being valued or not being seen. And I'm sure everybody can relate to that, with possibly, I guess, the exception of folk who work for themselves. Yeah, who I guess have a whole other set of imposter syndrome or frustrations or others, precarity, sense of anxieties about where's the next paycheck coming from, etc. But we work in a context where we're constantly being
assessed externally
and assessed. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something I think also the kind of sense of excitement is also because I think I knew the work I was doing. That I understood what it was. That wasn't, and so I think there's something about I'm stepping into something which is more unknown, and I think that's where the energy is coming from.
Yeah, because there are suddenly different challenges than the ones that you've been working through recently.
Yeah, and ones that I don't know what they're going to be like. I just don't know, and how am I going to cope? And it's that side of it. I'm pretty excited by that.
It's interesting because me and Bob were talking about this earlier on in the week because both of us have similar jobs.
Yeah.
And both of us find ourselves in rooms that we were definitely not in
10 years ago.
For Bob, 2 years ago. Yeah. For me, 5 years ago. So it's really quite recent. And Bob said, isn't it interesting? I think that these might be the rooms that I've always wanted to be in.
Yeah.
And
where it happened.
Oh, yeah, exactly the rooms where it happened. So this week, you asked a couple of recordings ago, would there be a moment where I could just stop because of my headaches and you being worried about the fact that I wasn't sleeping and I was just like run ragged? And I said, no, I can't. There will come a cliff edge which I will just fall off, as in the thing will stop. It stopped yesterday. Kind of maybe for about 2 years at Falmouth, we've been working on a research degree awarding powers application. That's been my energizing. I don't know if it has been energizing, but that's been the kind of the thing that I've been moving towards. And you talk about what do you do with the adrenaline. Think about this as a kind of an institutional burst of adrenaline. So many people were implicated for the last couple of days, and it has been, I think, one of the most affirming and humbling things to be a part of. Because I think I've said before, I work in an institution that I consider to be quite functional. It's not full of infighting or siloing or backbiting. It's actually it's a very friendly and supportive and nice space as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure other people can give you a different perspective, but as far as I'm concerned, it's been lovely. Yeah. So to see an even more generous side of people has been truly humbling.
So do you think it's brought the best out of your colleagues, this process?
So much brought the best out of people. But even with all of that, we still had until January or February to find out what the outcomes are, because these things take forever.
So there's nothing else to do on the process except wait for the...
Exactly. There's nothing else to do. So that's where the adrenaline has gone. But imagine that kind of adrenaline coursing through the body of an institution rather than the body of a person. And so today, I had 2 emails.
Oh, so basically people just stopped.
I think it's not that people are on leave or
no.
Just
they just
they've just gone like, well,
they exhaled.
Oh, exactly that.
Yeah, very hard to email when you're exhaling. I've realised.
Yeah,
you have to hold your breath to email.
Absolutely. So that's that's been.
Oh, congratulations! Congratulations.
Well, I mean, thank you.
To this point.
Well, I was going to say it is a congratulations in the sense that it's a moment in time that we've crested.
Yeah, and then you can. Now you've fallen off this cliff. You can have a regular job, regular hours.
And today, I found myself going, "Oh wow, holy cow!" Maybe for the past 4 months or so, I've been preparing for this.
Your life.
Properly.
You've been shortening your life with stress.
Well, that's I guess so. Yeah, and me and a lot of other people. But what I was thinking is more like I've almost forgotten what my job is, because it's like I've been, when it's like
it's been consumed by this other thing, which is not really a job, but it is. It's
exactly.
It's just not a permanent part of your job. That's for sure.
No, exactly. It's like learning to drive. You're learning to drive in order to pass your driving test, and everything is about learning to drive and then doing the test, and then you suddenly go, oh shit, yeah, actually now actually have to drive.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just to say, I think the idea of being energized, I think the idea of the ickiness, I hope you can park that, because I love the idea of being energized, and I love that you're about to embark on something that is so exactly the same as what you do, but completely different.
Yeah. And beautifully unknown.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay. Bye.